Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. In every podcast, I'll talk about an organizing, decluttering, productivity, or time management concept, and I'll tell you why it's important. I'll include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away, all in just 5 minutes. My specialty is chunking down these big topics so they aren't overwhelming. That's the concept for the podcast, too. I'm now done with the material from my first book, 52 Simple Ways to Get Organized. If you want the book, you can find it on my website or on Amazon. And you can view the show notes for this podcast on my blog. If you have questions or would like me to talk about a particular topic, just shoot me an email at claire@cluttercoach.net. I would love to hear from you. Keep in touch by getting on my mailing list. It's under the Free Stuff tab on my website, cluttercoach.net. Okay, here we go. This is podcast 114, and it's about organizing systems to cope with growth and change. I'm about to start an office organizing project. This small company is growing fast, and they've increased their office space by a little more than half. And suddenly, chaos is busting out all over. In fact, they'll probably have to move out of their current space entirely in a few more months because they'll outgrow this one too. I don't know what the space will be like, so I'll focus on creating strategies they can use anywhere. Where did this chaos come from? Part of it is a problem that's common most businesses face when they grow past a certain point. This is the problem of formalizing and codifying. When a company is small, especially if it's just one person, procedures and methods happen organically and are easily learned by everyone. Mistakes or gaps in information are caught and corrected quickly. Filing systems can be fairly eccentric when only a few people need to use them. At a certain point in a company's growth, that simplicity becomes a complication. New people don't understand the filing system, and there are no written guidelines to help them. Work starts piling up because new people need to be trained to do things that previously everyone just knew how to do. That training takes time that hasn't been budgeted for, and during the growth phase, people aren't likely to have spare time. In this particular office, many of the cabinets are empty, yet things were piled on desks and tables. No one knew where to put them or who to ask about it. The office manager is now managing a space and population more than twice the size of the previous one, so her capacity is maxed out. It seems like a simple thing, right? Just figure out a spot to put the copy or paper and tell everyone. But there are a lot of variables here. Is there any logical space near the copier? If so, is there room in there? If there's not, can something else be moved to make room? If it's a cabinet with doors, how do new people know where the paper is when they can't easily see it? Is it easy to access? That last question is really important. If something is difficult to put away, people are inclined not to do it. There's also the company culture question of whether it's okay to have things out and visible or whether they should be put away. This is another issue that gets worse when populations grow. A handful of people creating a few stacks here and there may not bother anyone, but the more people and things and procedures there are, well, clutter can grow exponentially. That means decisions and policies have to be set up for how a space is organized and maintained. Ideally, there's buy-in from all those involved. Again, making it as easy to maintain as possible while still achieving the desired uncluttered look is what you aim for. Responsibility also needs to be assigned for maintaining this look. If you ask everyone to do something, no one will do it. They'll all assume somebody else is doing it. It will fall to the office manager to do the maintenance or to direct specific other people to do it. In this case, the facilities manager is emphasizing that employees only keep what they truly need and love around, but strive to minimize. This office, like many these days, is open plan. That means that everyone sees everyone else's stuff all the time. If you have a cubicle, you can get away with more clutter since you're the main one who sees it, but not when you're sitting in the open. Whether people realize it or not, visual clutter is distracting and stressful. Almost every time I do a decluttering session with a client, she looks around in wonder and breathes a sigh of relief. She feels calmer. All the stuff we decluttered had become background noise. She saw it, but didn't really see it, so it was hard for her to grasp how much pleasanter the space would be without it. At the company, ideally we'll be able to come up with a clutter level policy that everyone is happy with, so they're more likely to comply. Just like organizing in a family or a couple, there will be negotiating to do on either side. The parallel situation for people at home is any big change. New baby, kids going to college, new career, new house, etc. Such changes often throw your organizing systems into chaos. Maybe it's time for some formalizing or codifying in your home. A simple example is the family chore chart, which lists chores and assigns them to specific people at specific times. Here's what you can do right now. Think about comparing your home to a company that's growing. Are there places where it would be helpful to have a system to do things so they stay more in control and create less work for you? Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe, too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to it. The show is available on SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. And you'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net. And again, please come visit me on livecoach.io and get that gift certificate while the offer lasts. LiveCoach offers a money-back guarantee after your first month, so there's no risk. See you next time.